I can say that this cat was rare, but I thought, man, forget it. Yo, home's the Bel-Air.
What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm with Jay and we're locked in. Look where we are. Season 3 of Bel-Air. Now, it took a while for us to get back to this moment, but the whole crew is back together. And this time, we're starting off with a summer break because after school and all of that work, we need to get out here and kick our feet up. But unfortunately, we know that's not how it's going to be for Will Smith and Carlton Banks and the rest of the Banks family. So before we jump into this and we break down season 3, episode 1 of Bel-Air, if you like Bel-Air content, breakdowns, theories, predictions, recaps like this, it's going to be a nice little season. Then hit your subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button, and I'm on that road to 50,000 subscribers, so I appreciate each and every one of you if you hit that like button. Now, it looks like from the trailer, we're going to see Will and Carlton out here getting a job, a J-O-B. And you know, with these two together, it's never going to run as smoothly as it should. So let's go ahead and jump into it and see what this season has to offer with the recap of episode 1 of Bel-Air. We start the episode off with Will and Lisa. Now, we see them two getting it in because this relationship has only strengthened itself since they were in school. Now, Lisa, she has a summer job at the country club as a lifeguard. We know she's one of the best swimmers and she's going to try to win nationals. And Will, he's playing basketball. He has a basketball tournament out in Vegas and he wants her to come. Now, she's saying she can't go, but we're going to leave that open. Maybe she can find some wiggle room in her schedule to come to the basketball tournament next weekend. As Will is leaving, Lisa gives her a kiss. He's dapping up everyone. Oh, there go Will Smith, the coolest guy on the block. He's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's jogging off. He runs into a guy by the name of Quentin. Now, he's riding around in a golf cart. He's at the country club. So, you know, he's a very important person. And it turns out he used to be an MMA fighter. He's retired. Now, he has a organization called Young, Black, and Gifted. And Will is saying, hey, I want to try to get into your program because I want to expand my horizons outside of just basketball. I want to be able to touch on everything. And Q is saying, you know what? We might have an opening, Will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an opportunity to come in and interview and take one of those spots. Now we have Hillary and LaMarcus out on a jet. Now they've been jet setting all summer. And we know that her and LaMarcus got back together after the charity event and she kind of pushed Jazz to the side. So what she's starting to realize is she might really like LaMarcus. Or maybe she's more into LaMarcus just for the simple fact that she's trying to get over Jazz. Whatever it is, she's enjoying this time on this PJ and he's trying to take her to the Mile High Club. But she passes on that. She'd rather go skinny dipping in the Mediterranean. Now they have young Ashley overlooking her parents and they're doing a magazine shoot as the new power couple of Bel-Air. You know, Uncle Phil's doing his thing in politics. Aunt Viv is moving her way up in the art world. Now, they always had Ashley appear to be a little bit older than what she is. And her friend is saying, man, your family's so perfect. Ashley says sometimes putting on the front is more important than what's really going on. Because one thing we know about the Banks residents is that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that needs to be handled and taken care of expeditiously. Carlton's been in rehab throughout the summer for about 30 to 40 days, depending on who you're asking. Don't ask somebody that's not sober. But while he's in here, he met a woman by the name of Mira. Now, she came in about the same time, and these two, they kind of connected. They're getting close, but all you hear at the door is knock, knock, knock. And it's Will. He busts in, and the family is there. They're coming to get Carlton up out of rehab. Well, Amira, she runs in the bathroom. Will, he goes in the bathroom to get Carlton's sweater and sees her, but he doesn't say anything, and he leaves on out of there. And he looks at Carlton, you gonna have to fill me in, brother. At the house, they have a welcome home party for Carlton. Will's in here, he's excited. Carlton's back, they got food, everything that he could ever desire, all of his favorites. But behind him is that big wine cellar. You remember that room they had? All kinds of wine from the 1800s, the 1920s. Well, they have a lock on it now, a padlock, because they don't trust Carlton. So Carlton's kind of looking at it like, geez, this is how you guys are going to treat me coming from rehab? Like I'm really that much of a junkie that I might try to get in here in the middle of the night and open up one, two, maybe five bottles? But that's neither here or there. The therapist told them they needed to do this. As I mentioned with Ashley, she's looking over the family, and the issue she has with Carlton is yes, she wants him to get better, but if you remember when she caught him in his locker and he basically threatened her. So for her, she's saying everyone's so happy and joyful, but there's really issues going on in this family that needed to be addressed. So she feels a certain type of way. Carlton and Hillary have a unique situation as far as their relationship goes. They're close, but they're not as close as it appears. But they do have deep conversations when need be. And in this conversation, she's just telling him everything that's happened since he's been gone and how life, is changed, but she wants it to change for him also. And for Carlton, he's still looking at it as maybe I'm the black sheep, I'm the odd man out. And he tells Hillary, look out for Ashley because he sees that Ashley's concerned after what she asked him about rehab and what did he actually learn in rehab. On down the hallway, Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, they getting a little hands on, but that's what you do when you're in a committed, loving relationship. Now they're talking about maybe they went too hard on Carlton since he been back, but you gotta kind of be hard on people. That's how we grew up, and that's how you learn. If everyone's just soft and handing you everything, then you're not gonna learn anything. But one thing we come to a realization is Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, since they both leveled up their lives, they've been too busy for each other. There's been no intimacy in this house. They're talking about syncing up their calendars. But Aunt Viv is saying, well, let's just get through this little party and then we can schedule that a little bit later. So Uncle Phil, he's going through it. He's trying to fight off them demons. But Aunt Viv is saying later on, Phil, not today, later on. Will and Carlton go out to have some burgers and get some regular food, be some regular high school kids out in Bel Air with money. So they go to this little burger shop. It kind of looks like the burger shop off of Boys in the Hood, where we heard him say, hey, yo, doe, let me out. But that's neither here or there. So Will is talking about getting into this young, black, and gifted program through Quentin. And Carlton's like, man, really? You trying to do everything? He's like, yeah, I'm trying to be a mogul. I'm trying to be as big as possible by 25, not with just basketball, but the business side also. Then they start talking about Amira and what Carlton was going through while he was in rehab. These two are like brothers. We've seen over the 2 seasons, they had their differences, but now they're back on the same page. Carlton and Will go in there to receive their order. Number 32, your order is up. Get over here. They go in there and they hype. They getting some real food, not the food they had at the house. Nah, 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 nah. You know how it is on the late night. You out getting you a burger, got some fries, got you a nice drink. But the door opens up, and who is it? It's Will's father, Lou. He's looking at Lou like, what are you doing here? Because remember, Lou was on the road. So how is he still here in LA? Hillary and Ivy have the influencer house. The only problem is there's only 1.5 influencers in here because everyone else has moved out. Now, Ivy is Hillary's best friend at the moment. We'll see how long that lasts. But they're just going back and forth over what's been happening since she's been with LaMarcus. And Ivy is starting to sense a little something. You're glowing, you're hiding something. But Hillary ain't saying anything. We know that she was on that private jet. We know that they went skinny dipping, but we don't know the full story there. And Ivy is saying, listen, you went out there, you seen these Michelin chefs, you want to get back into cooking? Summer is the season for changing. It's time for you to do your thing, spread your wings, and go influence. Jeffrey and Uncle Phil, rocky relationship, fixed it up, and now they're just talking about putting more security around the house. Now they know about Will meeting up with Lou, and they're going to be watching out for that. But Jeffrey also has his own problems going on with his son Frederick. So right now, Uncle Phil knows that he's been tough on him the first 2 seasons, and he's like, "Hey, do whatever you need to do, Jeffrey. We can handle things over here at the house. As far as the security and stuff, just take a step back. But you need to handle your business." And he's starting to give Jeffrey a little more leeway to do what he needs to do and treating him like a man and more of a, as a counterpart as far as being a worker for him. Carlton is getting ready for his Princeton interview. This is what he always dreamed of. He's in here, orange and black towers, that doing too much. But Aunt Viv comes in with some bad news. Well, the teacher informed Aunt Viv that the interview to go to Princeton is off because the guy that gave Carlton his backing, his sponsorship, his letter of recommendation, he heard that Carlton just got out of rehab and he fell back. So the Princeton interview is canceled. But Aunt Viv is saying there might be an opportunity later on. You just have to let time pass by. And this whole episode is showing us that every action has a consequence. So the choices we make in life, whether we do them when we're young or when we're older, there's always going to be a consequence to what you chose to do in life. Now, Will's at basketball practice. We got the Vegas tournament coming up, and we got to be ready to go. Now, he's out here stinking it up. I'm talking brick, stolen, brick. Come on, Will, get your head in there. Brick, stolen, turnover. It's like, damn, what is wrong with Will? And even Coach Doc is like, Will, what the hell is wrong with you? But we hear Will, his thoughts are racing, and it's him thinking about his father being back and him not knowing where he was. So it's just a lot on his conscience. And he's telling Coach, man, practice has been going too long. I thought it was over with. Doc sees that Will's head obviously isn't in the game, so he tells him to just leave because we need you to be right for the basketball tournament. If not, then you got to go. Will comes into Carlton's room after his bad, did I mention bad basketball practice? And we see Carlton sitting here and he's going through it also because of his Princeton interview. So at this point, neither one of them have anything going for him. Will had a bad practice and he showed up late to the interview. Carlton didn't even get his interview. And now they're both in the same situation. I won't say rock bottom, but they're almost there. And even Carlton's calling Will out because Will's trying to help everyone else, but Will doesn't realize that his issue is Lou being here and not informing him or even trying to see him when he tried to rekindle that relationship. So Carlton, he says some harsh words, but again, sometimes these words have to be said. Will ends up taking Carlton's advice and he goes to see Lou. Now he's not in a good mood when he gets here, and Lou is at a barber shop. Now he's been back for a while, and the reason he's at this barbershop is because he wants Will to know, I want you to see me in a better light. I'm working for everything I have. He also shows Will that he used to play basketball. So he hands Will a picture of him winning MVP, and Will's looking at it. He kind of tears up because he realizes my dad is right. This is in my DNA. But what Will doesn't understand is, yeah, Lou made mistakes, and he's trying to right those wrongs by getting a job and earning everything instead of letting it be handed to him like Will over in the Philip Banks residence. There's nothing wrong with that, but he's just saying, I hope my son realizes that sometimes you got to get up and go get it. Just like Will, Carlton's going to Ashley and he's apologizing. I'm sorry about what I said, but I really want the best for you. Now, Ashley really hasn't said much to Carlton since he got out, besides asking about rehab, but she realizes this is her brother and she loves him. As I mentioned earlier, she wants the best for him. That's why she's so hard on Carlton. But she ends up hugging him and they low key make up for right now, but we'll see where Ashley goes from here. Well, Carlton invited Amira, the girl that he met in rehab that was in the room when the family showed up. So when she gets here, he leaves Will and he's like, man, let me go introduce her to my parents. So Phil and Viv come over and they're like, okay, nice to meet you, Amira. And you can sense that something is off with Aunt Viv because she realizing that Carlton met her while he was in rehab. So she's looking like, wait a minute, this don't even sound right. But it is what it is. This is who Carlton likes. This is his friend, quote unquote. Will comes inside. He got his red velvet cupcakes. Ashley's in here. Hillary's on the couch. And they're like, hey, have you really got over Jazz? Because he's the one that hired the DJ. Hillary said, I got him, man, talking about LaMarcus. Well, in comes Jazz. He got the pink vest on. He got him a little slim baddie with him. Will and Ashley run over there. And Ivy's like, Hillary, did you see who just came in here? She's like, yeah. And we're all looking at Hillary like, she didn't get over Jazz like she said she did. Everyone in the family likes Jazz. Jazz is a nice young man. Later on in the evening, we see Carlton go over and talk to Quentin. And basically, what he's doing is putting in a good word for Will. And he's telling Quentin, listen, I know Will made some mistakes. I'm a recovering addict. I made mistakes also. But the thing most people don't know about Will is he's here for the people. He's always going to look out for you, no matter what. Whatever he has going on, his struggles, his issues, he'll push them aside. That's just the type of person Will is. Now, Quentin is hearing all of this. And he's like, man, the only thing I knew, the only side of Will that I knew was just hooping and being cool. But Carlton is actually showing that Will is a human. Will has a heart. Will is actually willing to go the extra mile to make things right. Now, Hillary couldn't let the night go by without talking to Jazz. He over here kicking it, pink vest, no undershirt. She got the pink top on, pink skirt. They kind of matching. But she comes over and she's like, hey, how are you doing? And he's like, I'm surprised you're talking to me because you're a runner, you're a track star. He's basically insinuating I won't even say insinuating. He's telling Hillary, listen, anytime something gets hard, you run away from it. The way you just threw me to the side and went on about your life and cut me off, and now here you are. Jazz ain't falling for the nonsense. He's already put up with it enough in 2 seasons. Now he knows who Hillary is, and he's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm gonna go on about my life. And the next move that Hillary pulls after Jazz told her to go on about her life, she goes out. LaMarcus is trying to explain to Uncle Phil, hey, I think I'm in love with your daughter. I respect her. I want to propose to her. They grab a microphone and she says, while we were out in Italy, he takes the mic from her, gets on one knee. He says, I proposed to her. I found the love of my life. Now, Jazz is out there, and you see Ashley walk by and say, I was rooting for you, Jazz. But LaMarcus got the woman of his dreams. Now, it looks like good things are happening to Banks residents because after everyone starts to leave, Carlton and Will, they go over and talk to Quentin. And guess what? After hearing what Carlton said and put in a good word for Will, he says the Young Black and Gifted program, I want to bring both of you on. I want you two to partner together, come up with a business. I'm looking for great things from the both of them. So Will's like, damn, good look, Carlton. But now they both have an opportunity to do something during the summer since the Princeton interview didn't fall through and Will's basketball dreams, they're kind of falling to the wayside. Jeffrey's doing Jeffrey things, and he went to go talk to Lou right after Will did. Now, what he finds out is that Lou actually has a box of things, his trophies, his basketball, some of his old news clippings, and he wants his son to have them. Now, Will is talking to Uncle Phil, and he's like, what is going on, man? What is wrong with Lou? And Uncle Phil is saying, man, he takes pride in you. He's proud of you. We grew up in an era where basketball was the only way out for us black boys. Now, Lou has a different way of expressing it. That's because he hasn't been around his son as much. So the way he's showing that he loves and cares for Will is trying to connect with the basketball. After hearing all of this, Will goes and talks to Doc before the team gets on the bus because we got to head to Vegas. We got the tournament this weekend. He's like, hey, Doc, can I talk to you real quick, coach? He's like, yeah, sure. Now, we don't hear exactly what Will says, but all we know is the bus leaves and Will is here standing by himself. And then Will hops in the car with Carlton. Carlton's talking about, man, we're about to start a business together. You gave up basketball. Princeton ain't there. You got any ideas, though, for a business? And Will said, I got a million of them. And they drive off. All right, there you go. The recap for episode 1 of Bel Air. Let me know what you think about it. Now, I know this is just a build up episode, getting us reacquainted, putting our feet in the water so we can understand where everyone is at. But let me know what you think about this. And we'll be here tomorrow for episode 2 recap. I'm Mo.J. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I'm out.